Hello, my friends and everybody. That is not so friendly, I don't know. Sometimes we are not so friendly, sometimes we are. Why do we get friendly? So today is another nice day. It's a bit cloudy, but the sun is shining, as you can see on my head. What's the topic? What's the case? It's on this day Jesus went to the... He was removed. And people are celebrating that. Maybe I can shut down this messaging by closing the windows. We will end the windows for today. People are celebrating his absence, and they are looking for his presence. And as I was talking about the Holy Spirit yesterday, he promised that he will send the Holy Spirit to guide, to convince, to give us power. So what is it about this Holy Spirit that he was talking about? You see, he gave them a message. Go out in the whole world and preach this gospel. And what gospel is that? I wonder. What gospel? Who wanted his message to be passed through all the nations? What can be said about that kind of drive that everybody, and not only somebody, everybody, to every nations, to every generations, you preach. I have come to terms with something that is this kind of believe in time. And I don't go so much into the message Jesus said. He said that you can preach the gospel and baptize them. It's too deep, it's too profound, it's something I can't touch on. But if my messages that I have been put out here, if I were to say something similar to Jesus, I would say, believe in time. Believe that the time is created for you. The time are changing. You do what you do and don't relax so much. You keep on keeping on. And sometimes we need to get our mind fixed, get our action straightened out. We don't do things just in order to get something. That's something not so nice, putting it mildly. It's not nice to always keep that kind of selfish need to be the most important thing to do. It's you see, you have a lot of things. Why are we nice? Is it to be nice back? Is it that we benefit from that? If I say something to you that I think you will like, it's something very selfish of me to do that. It's something of a selfish drive. We have to be honest. A day to day, it's just a random day. It's they celebrate this Jesus return to heaven day, but it's kind of odd to just celebrate or memorize that without taking his words seriously. What you say is way out more important than the person in hand, and I think they all forget about it. Now they are talking about how he could be returning, or how that could happen. Maybe vehicles from outer space came and brought him back in a cloud. That was it's also quite interesting. This cloud, it's kind of interesting according to the topic that may be forming itself now. That a cloud covered him. He got lost in a cloud. And what is the closest word for a cloud but not a cloud? Yeah, we can talk about fog, but it's not fog, it's the mist. The mist. You don't see anything because it's the light, everything is scattered. It's removed. Things are removed. And we remember when Israel went through the desert from Egypt to Canaan, land of Canaan. God followed them in a cloud. Some think that was the Messiah, the Jesus. I don't know, but even if it was a vehicle or something in that mist, we couldn't see it. We couldn't. The whole Sinai, when Moshe went up and brought the commandment back, the whole Sinai was covered in this cloud. It was all a big covering up. Some people will start to wonder, what is this mist? But I don't want to go into the mist itself, like if it was a secret operation or something like that. But I think what I have been touching on all the way is the absence of the profound ingredients, so to say. It's when Jesus was lost in this mist, this cloud, it's kind of that he is saying, I am the mist. You don't see me now, but you will see me. When you are there where I am, you will see me. And it's as I have touching on all the way for a long time now, that the true energy behind every matter is a mist. It's a kind of a void that you don't see it, but you know it's there. It's full of this energy. So maybe they saw something like this person got lost for their eyes. Their eyes couldn't see it, but it's only referring to their eyes. What if their eyes were opened in a way like the student of the prophet Elisha, that he said, because the student was worried, we have an army against us. Why are you not afraid? And he said, God, let these eyes of this student open up. So when he opened his eyes was looking all over. I can't see but the enemy. But when the eyes got open, he got the same, he was brought into the same realm that the prophet was. He was in that realm that, despite the enemy of Israel, despite everything, those that are with us are way larger, way stronger than those silly kids. So it's kind of, they went back to Jerusalem and was afraid. They was afraid because the Jews was threatening them, hunting them down, putting them in jail. I don't know whether they were killed or not, but in certain matter regarding the Jews, you have to be stoned down. And I think it was one of the disciples that was stoned, and he said, I see now the heaven is open. He became a mist himself. He got lost. So, my friends, it's a large topic. I know it's too large for me to capture in this video, but it's well observed by this observer that Jesus was taken into this mist and this cloud and was removed. Off he went. And it's kind of a movie, what you call it, when movies have this you can't really see what they are doing because it's a cover up. It's stunt or something. When they have these actions, you see parts and bits and parts of it, but you don't see what is really happening. I think the short sequence where they are jumping from one building to another or something like a car is exploding, no one could be there in the first place. So they put the sequence it in a very short time. But the original sequence is way longer, so they shorten it down, and they are so skilled in this computer technology, so they fixed it. So they can remove. I was intrigued by this Gemini man on the television before, because he had a watch on his wrist. And he just tapped the button and he was gone. And in fact, in the movie, you could see he was vanished. Yeah, got lost. So that was the technology in that movie. And it's obviously it's not how it is, but it's how they do it in the film. It's removed, bits and parts, and put together. So maybe they knew that on the time when Jesus was living. I doubt that, but it's kind of interesting that they used that phrase, and I believe it was so that Jesus was removed. Even some some time when they were picking up stones to throw at him, he got lost. Even even after that had happened, Jesus was gone. Some guy Philip was also removed from his place to the desert where Ethiopian was riding on his donkey, or what it was, caravan, from his way from Jerusalem maybe, and he said, "What are you reading?" So that kind of transport that have happened before. It's nothing new about that. And it was not a movie, it is a story. It's I don't know whether you believe all this kind of stuff or not, but it is not important that you believe wholeheartedly and are convinced. No, it's a story, and you take the story seriously. And as the cloud was covering Jesus, you take that seriously, because it have obviously a message, or it's kind of a picture that you can get some sense out of. And my approach to this is not the whole truth and nothing but the truth. It's just an angle of that. And I believe that something very profound with this kind of absence is telling you, I'm with you all the time. This absence shows that I'm not here in the physical body. I'm here by a representative from the heaven above, by my spirit that will fill your vessels. The spirit you can't see. It was proving its appearance when they got the Holy Spirit as a fire on their head. It's written. And it reminds me also when Israel was walking, it was not only a cloud that was following them. During the night, I think it was a fire that was traveling along. So, you see, every mist, every energy have this fire to it. It's kind of intertwined. It's every grain of this atom have this energy. And what are we associating energy with? It's fire. It's electricity. It's it's power. It's all that you need. And what can we say about when the Holy Spirit came down and filled them? They got to speak in different languages. Even my language in Norwegian and in English have been improved. I think the Holy Spirit can enhance your abilities. It's nothing magic about it, but it's, if we regard life as a mysterious thing, we can't say we know life, because this body, if we regard it as something very superficial, it shouldn't be working like that. But if you understand it, if you have some sense of understanding, there is some inside that every person that is out have this spiritual life to it. Every person have a drive to do something, to even to eat. It takes a drive to eat and a drive to speak. It takes all this kind of energy. So Jesus wanted to fill everyone after me, after my physical presence. And he ended by dying on the cross. on Easter. This sacrifice. And we need to see that in a larger perspective, because the, the notion that he died but was risen up is kind of saying every human, everything need to go through some death. If you put a seeds, I'm very intrigued by seeds. The other day I talked about bread and the seed and fermentation and all this kind of stuff. And this seed need to go into the ground and die. It's part of life that you buy death. Not that I encourage death, but it's kind of giving something up in order to renew yourself. You have to let loose of something, get out of something in order to get into something new. So I can't say any much more about that. Maybe it's I think the body, the human condition is like if we feel bored, it's a good sign. I love to be bored. By the way, I love it because it drives me on. I don't blame anybody for boring me. Even if they do, I don't blame them, because it's all about my position, my status, how I am in this moment. So if I'm bored, I should not prove to anyone that they are boring me. No, I should do something about my boredom. Because boredom is a quality we have to appreciate. It's kind of that fire. When you have been relaxed for too long time, or you haven't been doing something else for too long time, you are like a hunger. You need to go on and on in order to fix your situation, your boredom. And boredom is kind of a death circle. When you are bored, it's kind of going through something. When you are tired of it, when you are bored of it, you start something new. That's up to you, my friend, not up to everybody else. If you are bored, is it something wrong with us? Well, how can we consider that you out of boredom aren't feeling fulfilled by us? Do we have a special duty for you? Someone seemed to act like that we are responsible for someone else's boredom. So the entertainment, my friend, you have to do yourself. It's pure lack of fantasy and invention that you are boring yourself. I feel bad for you. it's how lazy, how morally. I think it touches on some morally lack of attributes, because you don't blame someone for not doing something that you are self not doing. So do it yourself and get out of here. You are boring me too. I don't care about you and your boredom. What is that to me? I do my thing, and I rarely feel bored, because more frequently I'm bored. So I've been doing these paintings. Now it's there. It's a painting. I can't touch it. It's here, and I put it up. I covered my old daughter's picture. That's crazy. I should remove it. I should put it down. So now it's on a different place altogether. I don't know whether you like it or not, but it's here. It's here now. This guy is still there. So my friends, go through your boredom and understand that the mist is waiting, and the mist is filling up your vessel, as the Holy Spirit did to those back in those times. It's kind of a sign that we have forgotten. We have forgotten all about what it's all about. And Jesus, I bet he was afraid of exactly that. That he was afraid if the disciples just was there for show. He was a wise man. So he removed himself. Like when you put a seedling in the soil, it's kind of removed by the toxicity and the fermentation, and it grows out something new that bears more seedlings, more fruits that have these seedlings. So, my friends, if you plant yourself, if you go through these circles so that something else can fill your life, this kind of mist, not only interest for motorcycles or cars, I despise that. I'm a car mechanic, but I despise the hobby of cars. I despised it. The hobby of rather do a drawing or make a fool of myself than having this kind of low life interest of cars. What is that? It's petrol. That is more interesting. Petrol is this kind of fluid that is giving energy, very spontaneously energy. So to go into the mist, to go through circles of life, is what's needed now. It's very much needed. So when you don't know what to do, wait. Because waiting is another time. Jesus asked the disciples, yes, go to Jerusalem and wait until the Holy Spirit will. So, you see, you need to have this waiting time, this time lapse. Not only praying, but I think prayer is a way to receive or to promote that something is going to happen. So if you pray, my friend, even if you are an atheist, I bet you, when you pray, you promote. It's the same starting letter, pray and promote. I think it's a good thing to that. I will be dwelling on that maybe later, but today it's all about this cloud. Got lost in the cloud. I should say more profoundly on that, but it seems to be a stop here. Stop on that. I look out and see many clouds, and maybe some of them is reminding me of yes, there is something, but we can't see it. It's fragmented. It's all over, and you can't define. The important thing here is that you can't define to the root. The root is undefinable. It's a void. It's a kind of an energy that you will be inspired or be tapping into. So that is important, to tap into this kind of void, this kind of power of life, power of the human spirit, the power of God that invested in the human spirit. You can't talk about human spirit without talking about God. So, my friends, this is it, and I have done my thing today. I let you be, and I will be absent until next time. Shalom, and I bid you farewell. Bye bye, my friends. Whatever can I say? Smile and be happy. To everybody, blessings.